Hi and welcome to my review of Prey, the new Predator film in the franchise. So this film, you're following a young Native American girl who's training to become a hunter and has to protect her tribe when an alien ship drops a predator into the plains in which they're living. So this now is the fifth film in the Predator franchise. I love that original Predator film. It's one of my favourite action sci-fi movies from the 1980s. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's just a brilliant, simple script, and just the combination of these things just worked perfectly for me, and I've just watched this film countless times throughout my life. But the sequels have always been a mixed bag. Most of them have been enjoyable, but the last one I saw was the Shane Black Predator, which just did not do it for me at all. Just a really mad, convoluted script. Loads of crazy humour put into it that just didn't work at all in my opinion. Just a lot of very strange decisions made in that film for a Predator movie. So I'm glad for this one they've gone back to a much more scaled back, a nice simple plot to kind of get the franchise going again from scratch, which I liked. I like that they took their time again here to slowly build up to when they first show the Predator. You know, they did that in the original film. They kind of only show it in the haze camouflage and slowly building up until finally everything about it's revealed. And even by now, we've seen all this stuff before, so we know exactly what it's capable of, what it looks like, what it does. But I still feel like as a film, it just works a lot better when you do have that build up, rather than like some of the other sequels where they just dive straight into it. And you see the Predator and heads are exploding in the first 5 seconds. I just feel like here it works a lot better, taking that time to just build up the tension to when you really get into the action involving the Predator. I like that they scaled this all back and just made it a nice simple plot again for this film as well. And they added obviously the edge of having it set back in the 1700s, which I thought was a really cool spin on the film as well. That was a really good idea to do with this. You know, we're used to always seeing the Predator go up against, you know, your general action figures, you know, obviously the commando team in the original, and then you've got the police, and in the later films just kind of criminals and gangs, and it's all shooting and guns, whereas here it's just nothing but bow and arrows, sticks and throwing axes to go against it, which creates quite an interesting dynamic that we haven't seen before in these movies for humans taking on the Predator. This film really takes its time as well to slowly build up the atmosphere and the suspense, and it's filmed in all these amazing locations as well, out on the plains in the wilderness. It just looks incredible. It's very beautiful to look at, and it was it was a nice opening to the film. I liked in this film as well that as it went on, it just got better and better and better, and then that second third of the film and the final act of this film is just really incredible. It's pretty much like a perfect Predator film. The whole final showdown and the final act, the look of it, the choreography, that new creature design they're using for the Predator, it all just looks fantastic, and by the end of it that really brought the film way up for me. I thought that was just brilliant. So Amber Midthunder is the actress that is playing Naru, the main character that we're following in this film. And I really like that she's someone completely different to someone like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Adrian Brody that we were following in those previous Predator films. She's not a physical presence in the same way that they were, but you know, she's believable from the aspect that she uses her athleticism and her mind to effectively overcome the fight that she has in this film, and I thought she played it extremely well and is convincing as somebody who could take on the Predator. You know, the Predator's a 7-foot alien that fights humans for sport. It doesn't matter how big you are or how strong you are. The Predator has always been beaten by outwitting it. So I feel like it's not a problem that she's, you know, people are saying she's only 5 foot tall. How could she take on the Predator compared to kind of giant 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger? But I feel like in the film, it takes the same principle of the old ones, that you have to beat the Predator using your mind, not with the muscles. So there was 2 issues I really had with the film, and that was just some of the dialogue, especially in that first act of the film, and also some of the characters throughout this film as well. the opening scene is really great, you know, when you've got her hunting and she first sees the Predator ship. The scene just before the credits I really, really liked. But when she gets back to her camp and you get those first few lines of dialogue, it all felt a little bit rushed and maybe not nuanced enough for me. You know, you had the community. It didn't really feel like there was much connection between them and Naru, the character. You had her mum sort of saying to her, "Oh no, you should just be staying here doing this. This is what you're good at," even though Naru is wanting to go out and learn how to hunt, and she's motivated by doing it because the group don't believe that she can do this. They don't. It kind of goes against the tribe's norms, so they're all against it. But I just feel they could have shown a little bit more connection there, a little bit more of an understanding between these two characters. Whereas I feel like it's all a little bit blunt, and some of it just didn't really work right for me at the start of this film. As well with these characters, there's a scene, or there's a couple of scenes like this, but the one that I'm remembering is the one where they're going out on one of the hunting missions with these guys from the tribe, and they're all kind of having a bit of a laugh at her, and you know, they're just acting really stupidly, and she's telling them about how she's seen things that suggest there's some kind of weird creature that they haven't come across before out there, and they're just sort of brushing her off. And you know, at one point even one of them's laughing, making a joke about how she should be back there cooking whilst they're out hunting. And I felt it was a little bit heavy-handed with what he was trying to do at that point. It just made the characters come across as very one-dimensional, and it felt a bit over the top. And I think as well, just the way they set that scene up as well, it's predictable, because you end up just feeling like, oh, okay, they're just setting up the carnage here now. You know, it's like they're out in this jungle, they're making all these comments, laughing and joking, and then suddenly there's the rustle in the trees, and you know what's about to go down, and then there's just absolute mayhem after that. So it was fine, but it just felt a little bit too much. I think they could have written the other characters a little bit better, or taken a bit more time with attention to detail for that. I find that the film worked just a lot better when they were just purely focusing on Amber Midthunder's character. So I want to give this film a 4-star, but I feel like it's only a 3.5-star just because of those little issues I had with the film. They'd had just a little bit better characters and have fleshed out the motivations a little bit more subtly for the main character. And this would definitely have brought it up for a 4-star. As I said, that final act definitely brings it way up for me. But you know, it's on streaming services now, you know, Disney Plus here in the UK, and Hulu if you're in America. So definitely go and watch this latest Predator film. Please let me know in the comments if you like the sequels, where this one kind of slots in for you. I'd probably say this one, it might be the best since for me. I do quite like Predators. I think Predators was quite a good film. I haven't seen it for some time now, so I'd probably have to revisit that one to find out how I feel about it, you know, seeing it with more recent memory. But this one is definitely up there. It's definitely one of the better, if not the very best sequel we've had from the Predator franchise. So yeah, definitely go and check it out. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed this review, and see you next time.